So, next is my goodness, usually a writer of prose, but lately he's been doing these plays. These one-man monologue performances, which are phenomenal. Please give a hand for John Chism.
John, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Well, I recognize you without your tie.
I know. Well, this is dress down day at work. But anyway, okay, now something,
I had a shirt like that once.
something different to a lot of you. This play is a full-length play. It's about the student revolution of the 1960s. And there are naturalistic scenes interwoven with asides to the audience and almost burlesque guerrilla theater type scenes as well, as you shall soon see. Donna is the main character, and she was a member of a group called the SDC, Students for Democratic Change, and that was a fictional group, broad scale, and it did involve some violence. These were militant people. Anyway, this scene also deals with the change from when the 60s die and the 70s begin. All right, so now we're halfway through the play. Donna says to the audience, "It was over. The counterculture fads were still blossoming, but the movement was finished. We SDCers were torn by infighting and began to discover our own smallness as people. That is a terrifying feeling in this age of moon landings, computer chips, of warheads and anti-ballistic missile systems. We experienced our insignificance." Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. In 1969, at our group's convention in Michigan, a huge faction walked out, partly over the burning question, should activists nowadays turn to tools of violence to further the revolution? Some remained in SDC, tried to keep it afloat. Within a few months of the walkout, SDC had no choice but to dissolve, and Richard Nixon was the American president. Now the lights change at this point and become psychedelic on the stage, and a big smiley button appears, and Donna puts on a straitjacket that has an American flag on it. This is the guerrilla theater burlesque scene. And as the song "Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head" begins to play in the background, enter a female psychiatrist with a bun and a clipboard and a very thick German accent. And she says, "Hello, Donna, how are you today?" And Donna says, "Feeling a little like Alice in Wonderland. What's on your mind? I'm wondering if you're a good witch or a bad witch." "That's normal. Anything else?" "I'm confused, but I think my mental clarity may return any moment now." "Good girl, dream on." "Did I really try to slash my wrists?" says Donna. The psychiatrist says, "You had hoped to." "That's remarkable," said Donna. "Was it fun to plan?" "Oh yes. It's so important to have some fun in one's daily life. But now you must rest, and I'll bother you again in a day or two." "I don't doubt it, doctor. I feel unsettled already." Now enter, as the psychiatrist steps to the side, enter three counterculture therapists: a hippie mystic, a gestalt therapist, and an abuse therapist. And remember, the song is still playing all through this. That's right, yes. And the counterculture therapists say, "Time to focus, Donna. Time to think about what's at stake here. Uh-oh, look over there." "I know," says Donna. "It's Dr. Brunhilde Bettelheim. She sees me every 2 or 3 days." And the Gestalt therapist says, "Imagine her sitting right in front of you. What do you want to say to her, Donna?" And the abuse therapist says, "She doesn't want to say anything to her because Donna is an asshole." "Oh, nonsense. She's all right," says the Gestalt therapist. "Donna, get up and act out what you want to say." She says, "With my hands tied." The therapist with the garland says, "Don't worry about your hands. It's a straitjacket around your mind we're working on here. Free yourself of that, and you can wrestle a grizzly bear wearing that thing." The abuse therapist says, "No, she couldn't. Donna is an asshole." Then the Gestalt therapist says, "Are you angry, Donna?" "I think she's depressed." "I think she's an asshole." Then Donna says to the three therapists, "Everything seemed so real back in my activist days, especially my hopes. But now nothing seems real, not even my pain. That's pretty awful, isn't it? Not to have pain that is real. Do you have memories?" "No." What do you want? I want answers. She wants to be an asshole. Oh, nonsense, says Dr. Brunhilde Bettelheim. Nobody wants to be an asshole except for therapists like you. Donna, dear, did I hear you say you wanted answers when I have a few, and they're just the sort you need? Well, they all say. She produces a crystal ball and stares into it. Now there are sounds of ocean waves and Jonathan Livingston Seagull type sounds, and the music fades, and Donna's arms become free, although the sleeves are still long on the straitjacket. And Donna says, I'm a seagull. No, that's not it. We must work. If only we knew. If only we knew. The gestalt therapist says, what's she doing? The other says, shh. I want to propose a toast, says Donna. To Lucy Bird and Linda Bird, applause. To Tricia Bird and Julie Bird, more applause. To John Bird and Caroline Bird, more applause. And to Mamie Bird, Eleanor Bird, and Happy Bird. What kind of birds are they, Donna? Albatrosses around the necks of all those who were stupid enough to ever believe in them. She's trying to tell us something, says the Gestalt therapist. She's trying to tell us she's an asshole! I believed in power for a while, says Donna. Now I want to scratch myself out of existence. I am my own worst proposition. You want to know what my biggest fear is? That I'll have you therapist banshees around me for the rest of my life. Oh, that's not very likely, they tell her. We'll be defunded in just a few years. Then you'll only have Dr. Brunhilde Bettelheim to contend with. Eh, doctor? And Brunhilde Bettelheim says, quiet. My prognosis. Your life will never merge with history, Donna, but it will often be tangled in it. The rest, my child, is silence.
John Chism!